Okay folks, so today we're going to be looking at a similar technique of cutting one image out and putting it on top of another, but we're going to use a different method. So I'm going to first of all go to File, Open, and open up the two images I'm looking to use, which is the shark. Hold down Control and select the seabed and hit Open. Now what I'm looking to do is place the shark on top of the image of this seabed. Again, remember, Restore Down allows you to see the two windows side by side. So I'm going to maximise the shark and use the navigator to zoom in and out in order to be able to fully select this shark and remove it from this image. Now the technique we're going to use today is still a selection tool, but it's the quick selection tool that we're looking at. Now you've got your properties up here for a new selection, add to selection, or subtract from selection. Similar to a brush, you can also increase or reduce the diameter, and that can be checked by moving your brush over the image, and also the hardness, which if brought down to 0% will make the circle feathered edged or more solidified by pulling it right up. Now we're going to use a brush size around about 15, and using a new selection, what we're going to do is just hold down the left mouse button and start pushing out. Now again, we're going to be looking to create a perimeter around the shark. I'm going to start off in the middle because you'll see how this works. It tries to jump to pixels, and I want to make sure that when I'm holding down the left mouse button, I don't go too far and push the pixels out with the perimeter of the shark that I'm looking to select. You'll notice I'm not moving that much further from my start point, and the pixels are already starting to jump. The selection is starting to think for itself in a way. You need to be very careful to control it. Don't go too near the edge or you'll end up pushing the pixels out with the perimeter like that. Okay. Now move my navigator over, check I'm on Add to Selection, which I am. Start pulling this out. Now for all my wee fiddly bits, what I'm going to do is use the technique we were using before, which was the lasso tool. Again, make sure I'm on Add to Selection, and then I can simply just go around and add in all the wee bits I've missed, like so. It takes a lot of time and patience. Using the navigator allows you to zoom in and be a lot more accurate. If you ever make any mistakes, you can simply switch to subtracting from selection, which I'm going to do up here because I made an error earlier on. Subtract from selection and tidy it up. I'm just going to pause the video and continue to do the rest. Okay, so that's me happy with my selection. So what I'm going to do now is edit, copy, restore this window down so that I can get the seabed, maximise that, edit, paste, and there's my shark put in place. Now using my move tool, I can move the shark about, and again I can use the transform technique under edit to scale, holding shift down, grabbing the corner, resize until I'm happy, and hit the tick to commit. Naming that layer allows me to know exactly what it is, and I can also duplicate the layer again if I wish to make a second shark. Using the move tool, I can take that second shark over here, and looking at the transform option, I've also got the option of looking at flip horizontal, which allows me to change the direction of the shark. Using the transform technique again, I can scale the image down, give the illusion that it's slightly smaller and further in the distance. Tick it to commit it. I could also look at this layer opacity here, which would allow me to slightly drop the opacity of the shark, and again give that illusion that it's further in the distance underneath the water. Each layer also has the option of changing the fill percentage, If I jump to this shark, you'll notice that that goes back up to 100%, whereas when it's on this layer it's down to 37. So these change depending on which layer is selected at the time. Also, the layer blending mode that you have is sitting at normal, and that's what blends this top layer with the layer below it. You could flick through these to see what effect it has on the shark and see if it maybe adds to the overall look or style of the image, making it look as if it's just coming out from the depth of the water.